Happy day, friends, happy day, friends, happy day, friends. So, Austin pointed something out to me we were talking like maybe 20 minutes ago, and my parents were visiting yesterday, and my dad was like, oh, we, if we're gonna make Hawaii actually happen, you guys know about Hawaii, we had to postpone Hawaii due to Paige, this little sweetie, absolutely worth it. Turned out great because COVID happened, and then my dad brought it up yesterday. He was like, if we're gonna make Hawaii happen, it might have to be in April rather than some other date. And in my head, literally, I feel like I'm living in September of 2020. So when he was saying April, I was thinking like, oh yeah, next year. Like, oh yeah, like next year we can make that work. Austin pointed out to me that's literally in 3 months. 3 months we might be going to Hawaii. And I was like, he's like, okay, speak, talk, what are you thinking? And I'm just like,
I gotta change my life.
I gotta get to packing, I gotta plan. Like, this is 3 months away. We gotta do some stuff. I may have actually been the one that pointed out like, oh, it's 3 months away, like only 3 months away. And Austin, he looked at the pizza he was eating and he was like, gonna throw it in the garbage.
I'm so excited, guys.
I'm getting my
Look, I'm even wearing my Hawaii hat.
We don't have any plans yet. It was just kind of a thought thrown into the air. My dad has to still check, like, this is gonna be a family trip. If we do this, it's gonna be a family trip with my family. My brother and sister-in-law and nephews live out in Hawaii. So it would be to go visit them. So my dad still has to check his schedule, like see if it's around Easter, see if he even has like the time off still to do April, to make April work. But I'm still kind of speechless thinking like, oh my gosh, 3 months. We might be going to Hawaii in 3 months. Like, what in the world?
I'm so
but
excited.
It's so exciting.
Here's the idea, guys.
I went to my room and I got ready and I threw on my workout shirt. I'm like, I gotta put this on because I'm going to the gym tonight. I am gonna get my body back. No, not really, but I just haven't been to the gym in a long time and I'm dying to go. Anyways, what were you saying here? I'm gonna ramble.
Here's the thing. We are off to a hot start on 2021. Our New Year's resolutions last year were pretty much killed on site.
As were everybody.
And this year, it's like, okay, New Year's resolutions, we want to get happy, we want to get healthy. Perfect. Now all of a sudden Hawaii's thrown on our plate and it's like, that's happy,
like
and we want to be healthy for it.
That's a huge mood booster. Like when you have something, we've always said this, when you have something on your calendar to look forward to, no matter how big or small, it's just nice to have that thing to look forward to. And that's a big thing. Like that's a big thing to look forward to.
Heck
so
yeah.
Instantly I'm like, oh, okay, this is great.
And
awesome.
The best part is I can't mess it up, guys. I cannot knock Jess up fast enough
for it to
in order
matter.
to us.
It won't even matter. Even if I am knocked up in 3 months, not even gonna matter.
Because we'll be able to go to Hawaii this time, guys. I am so excited. Oh man, the funniest part about all of this is last night I was talking to Ron and he was like, yeah, could we make April work? And Jess was like, we should be done with breastfeeding by then. So she had the timeline in her brain correct, but for whatever reason, it didn't click that it was this year.
Because I'm like living in last year still. Mentally, I don't feel like we've gone through a whole year.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It never clicked. And I was also telling Austin like, oh, April, that's when Holly's baby's due. I can't miss that. But really, I'm gonna have to go to Hawaii if the timing is, I don't know, but.
Sorry, Holly. We'll meet your kid when we get back. I'm sure she will be beautiful. We will be so excited.
Oh, I've already seen her. She is so beautiful. I've seen the ultrasound. She's so beautiful. She looks just like Holly.
But I am just excited beyond measure to go to Hawaii. And some of you may be like, well, what's the obsession with Hawaii? A little background story. Pretty much, we have tried going to Hawaii now, three times? 3 times. Each and every time, something's come up. We haven't been able to go. The most recent, this thing.
Paige.
Paige.
I told him a little bit about it.
Yeah, Jess surprised me with pregnancy, and that worked in our favor,
guys. Wait a second, did I surprise you, or did you surprise both of us?
Yeah,
I think that's kind of how
I may have surprised both of us. But either way, that all worked out in our favor because last year you guys know how it happened. So it's nice to have something on the calendar that is so close that we can't mess it up.
Yeah, it's so close that we don't have to plan to not do anything. As long as my dad can go, we can all go.
Yeah.
Wow, Hawaii.
The reason for the short turnaround is Jess's brother, who lives in Hawaii, may not live there much longer after this next summer.
They may be moving.
They may be moving, so
that's the rush.
That's the rush. Otherwise, we'd probably be like most families and be like, okay, in a year, we'll go to Hawaii. But no stopping this train.
Okay, I think my adrenaline rush is starting to go down again. Hawaii. See, you even got your pineapple. You're ready. You're ready to go. That's all you need. All you need. Watch, after all this excitement, we don't end up being able to go.
I will be
like
so
it just gets
sad.
canceled.
I will spiral into a deep, dark depression.
We'll just have another baby. And then
I'll spiral further. We're going to have a sit-down chat about money, guys.
Let's talk money. And the reason we're sitting down and talking to you guys about this is because we've noticed more than normal lately that people have been asking what we do for jobs aside from YouTube. We get that question fairly frequently, but it seems like something we must have said or done recently has sparked it from a few more comments than normal. So we thought we'd, kind of sit down. There's a lot of new people, a lot of new subscribers here.
Might have just made it not
You made it way more crooked. And we haven't really talked about this for a long time. So
yeah,
YouTube is all we do. Austin and I run 3 different channels. Austin
4.
recently started a podcast. That's the 4th channel. And we have been full-time YouTube for 3 years now.
We have
3
been,
years.
3
It's
years.
been 3 years. We'll talk about all this, but long story short, we'll go into more detail here in a minute. Austin lost his job 2 weeks after we found out we were pregnant with Micah. And that is kind of how we got thrown into the full-time YouTube. We had been doing YouTube for a little while before then, and so it was a secondary income for us.
Well, but at that time, so to take you guys way back, when I was working at Instructure, you guys might see me occasionally wearing a shirt that says Canvas.
A lot of
and
you guys.
And it's always so funny because everyone's always like, oh, you guys just gave me nightmare fuel because I've got a final I've got to study for. Well, Canvas does online class
Schooling.
hosting.
Online,
So I used to work for that company. It was a fantastic company. I loved it to death. And while I was there, because I was marrying this beaut, I felt like I needed to get on top of my finances. And so at that time, her dad was always talking about finances, seemed extremely knowledgeable. He could be a great teacher. And so I'd ask him and I'd pick his brain all the time. And because I wanted to make sure that when I was marrying into this wonderful union that I didn't bring so many burdens. Because to be honest, at that time...
You were a little bit embarrassed. You told me at one
I
time.
was beyond embarrassed.
Here's the thing.
I dreaded, with every fiber of my being, I dreaded talking finance. I dreaded talking bank accounts. I dreaded talking anything to do with money because I knew that I just didn't have a lot. And I knew that I had debt.
Here's the thing.
I just felt guilty.
He had student loans, he had car debt, and some credit card debt.
It wasn't like...
It wasn't massive amounts.
It wasn't
right?
crazy, but it still wasn't something that I was proud of. And I was honestly embarrassed because at the time, without realizing it, I was very much living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. And I didn't realize, and I was blind to the obvious, that I was one mistake away from really having
disaster.
A major disaster. I'm talking like bankruptcy, foreclosure, like all that stuff. While I was at Instructure and talking and trying to get on top of my finances, Ron, her dad, introduced me to Dave Ramsey. He would always talk about him, and I was always like, who is this guy? What's he about?
And so started our debt-free journey.
Yeah. While I was at Instructure, I started doing the Dave Ramsey steps. And the first thing out the gate is save $1,000. Second step is get debt-free. We'll provide everything down in the description below if it interests you.
We're not sponsored by Dave Ramsey or his programs, but we really love what it's done for us.
Yeah.
And we just think it's really great, and to be in financial peace, to have. It's just
really funny because that's what his class
it's called
Financial Peace
but
University.
It's a really amazing feeling, and that's exactly why we've been able to give back with our Happy Christmas Day thing that we did.
Well, we'll get to that. We're jumping all over the place. And so I never really knew what to do with finances. And so we started on this journey while I was at Instructure, before we were married. Thereafter, shortly getting married, we were able to pay off my car. And the only debts that we had remaining, because we'd already paid off my credit card too, was my student loans. That's right. So I want to say about a year or maybe a year and a half into it, then we were able to eliminate all of our debt. Completely debt-free. We didn't owe anything except for our mortgage. Once we were able to be debt-free, that's pretty much, I get lost on the timelines, but that's right around where we found out we were pregnant with Micah. And I can't remember if that was the big motivator to really paying off all of our debts. I'm pretty sure that was a big motivator, is we wanted to be able to welcome Micah into the world without any financial burdens other than delivery of Micah.
You're right. Yeah, that was a big motivator and a big reason why we decided, okay, sometime in the near future we want to get pregnant and start a family.
Yeah, to kind of reiterate back on the money thing back before we started all this, I remember I wasn't making a ton of money. But I remember talking money with a friend at that time, and he was like, yeah, man, he's like, I made $65,000 last year, and I have nothing to show for it. And at that time, I was like, you made $65K and you don't know where your money went?
Yeah, that's a lot of money to me, just, disappear.
To me at that time, especially, I was like, how do you not know? That's a lot of money. How do you not know where it is or what to nothing to show for it?
It's almost like a light bulb.
Yeah, it was just little tiny things along the path of nudging me into the right direction, or the direction that I feel is great for us.
So is that what made you think I really need to budget my money? Is that the click for you? I need to start an actual budget?
I want to say the budget didn't really come into play until Dave Ramsey. I listened to his book on tape, and his book is a really short listen. It's only 3 to 5 hours. So even if you don't follow his steps, I think that there are some really good nuggets of wisdom in his book that could be of real value. You can find it for free here on YouTube, I'm pretty sure, if you check for the audiobook. I might be able to try and find it and link it below. But the budget out of everything terrified me.
Really?
Oh, because
it seems like a lot of work, and it is.
Because I'm
a bit of work.
A spender. And I hate, that was part of the guilt and part of the fear with getting on top of my finances and being married, was that I wasn't good with money, and I love spending it.
It's so easy to spend too.
And I was spending money that I didn't have.
That's the credit card debt.
Yeah, that's the credit card debt. And getting into a budget and finally sitting down and facing my demons at the end of it, not at the end of budgeting, because I'm still budgeting, but when I was actually able to sit down and look at my numbers on paper and face those, it really was an eye-opener. My spending became a lot less spontaneous and just frivolous. And
I think really you budgeted and you started just really paying attention to where your money was going.
Yeah, it's called being intentional with your money. Here, 4 years later, I'm still being intentional with our money. And I'm still putting it in places to basically set ourselves up to succeed. That's basically, in a nutshell, that's Dave Ramsey's thing, is he wants to give you the tools and the understanding to set yourself up to succeed. And the reason, I want to say the big reason why we started, or maybe the reason why I started Dave Ramsey, aside from being ready for when we got married, was also that I had a big lofty dream at the time of being a YouTuber. Like, I really badly wanted to do YouTube. Fast forward a few years, we're getting to be debt free. We're on track to pay off and be completely debt free, and I lost my job.
Yeah, and he lost his job like 2 weeks after we found out I was pregnant.
Yeah, 2 weeks after we found out we were pregnant with Micah is when I lost my job, and it was so crazy.
Normally, it would be an absolutely terrifying experience or life event.
But at that time, we were making enough money through YouTube where it was kind of like
a blessing in disguise.
It was a blessing in disguise. And it was so funny because I had worked there for 6 years. And I remember sitting in the meeting with my supervisor, my boss, and he was just filled with dread. You could just tell he was just so sorry because he knew that we were pregnant and all this stuff. And I'm looking at him like, it's fine. Like,
it's okay.
We're gonna be fine.
Here's the thing though, we would not have been fine had we had debt.
Yeah.
We would not have been okay.
And that's what I'm getting at is because we were able to eliminate our debt and really like hone in on our finances and figure out all that stuff, it was like
we were okay. It was like, okay, if we're gonna make the switch to full-time YouTube, now's the time.
Yeah, it was just like Mama Bird just gave the baby bird a little bit of a nudge and was like, all right, let's see if you can fly.
It really was a blessing in disguise. And since then, we've been able to make it work for 3 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, we don't know how long YouTube's gonna last.
Yeah.
We don't know how long it's gonna support us.
Yeah.
But we have our finances in order. And if anything were to happen, we will be okay until we can find jobs.
Yeah. So following those steps really made this dream of doing YouTube possible for us. And it's been throughout our years of saving and just like delegating our money. Is that a word?
Yeah.
A good word? And here's another reason why we're really talking about this is so many people over the years have been like, I'm struggling with money. Especially in 2020, like there were so many comments about people losing their jobs, about not having money to pay for rent or their mortgage, or just really falling on hard times. And I feel like there's so much uncertainty. Even if you have a job, your job is not guaranteed. I'm a prime example of that. Like, I lost my job even though I thought it was guaranteed and it wasn't. Yeah. I hope you guys take a little bit of knowledge from this, because it's because of those practices that really it's been a stress-free experience for us the last few years.
Yeah, really, it's all due to our original debt-free journey. It's been so worth it, and really like part of Dave Ramsey's and something that we also really value is being able to give back.
Yeah.
And our Happy Christmas Day would not have been possible, would not have been doable without being debt-free.
Yeah.
It simply wouldn't have happened.
Along our journey, we did come across some breaks where we inherited or we got some money. But the nice thing is because I was already educating myself on how and where to put money, I didn't go out and blow that money. Like you always hear of professionals or big athletes who get all this money and then all of a sudden they're broke, and you're like, how do you lose?
How do you spend $4 million
like Nelly,
and have to declare bankruptcy?
Yeah, like how are you broke? Like you literally were a millionaire and now you have nothing to show for it. Like where along the line did you go wrong? I chose to invest in us and put it toward retirement or debt or something like that. And so, yeah, we did get a break along the way.
Yeah.
But it's because I knew what I wanted to do with my money that is really setting us up for success. And that's kind of what I'm trying to reiterate here is it doesn't matter if you make $1 million or $40,000. If you don't know how to manage your money, you're going to have a bad time. So with how rough 2020 was for so many, and then it's starting a brand new year, and then on top of that, a stimulus fund coming in, I really wanted to just share some of our knowledge and insight to give you guys maybe some tools that could help you better yourselves financially in 2021.
Yeah, we had a friend call us just a few weeks ago, asking us about finances and like how we did it and how we became debt free. And really, like, all it takes is a little spark, a little idea for it to set a fire within people. So maybe this is that spark you're looking for. I don't know. We just felt the need to share, and it all goes back to, is YouTube your only job? Yes, it is. Yeah. But this is why.
Yeah. This is always something I've wanted to talk about on the channel. It's always something I've wanted to share because it gave me so much confidence and understanding about finances where I literally previously had none. And I hope some of you guys take some of this away. And we're not looking to solve everyone's problems, and we don't have the money to be giving people just money. We're not Mr. Beast here, but I hope that these tools help you, and especially where the government is going to be giving you some money. I know we're supposed to go out and stimulate the economy, but if we got debts to pay, maybe there's something better we can do there. Yeah. Do you want to give some knowledge?
What's your piece of advice? Okay.
Yeah? What else? Oh, thank you. You're so insightful. You're so knowledgeable. I'll get off my shoebox. I'm really passionate about this because I love seeing my family and friends succeed.
He loves talking finances.
And I do. I'm obsessed, guys. Like, it literally used to be something I would dread, and now I'm like, get yo ish together.
Him talking finances is like me talking working out. Like, so passionate about it.
I just want
talk for hours.
All my friends to do extremely well, and I want all of us to retire with so much money and just live happy, healthy lives, guys.
Stress-free life.
I just want the best for all my friends. I want the best for all of you. All right, on to go do something else. One more thing. I should reiterate, just because you budget doesn't mean you can't buy nice things. It just means you need to set your money aside for it. Because we do buy nice things, guys. We do. It's just we are intentional.
We were really trying to have like a sit-down chat with you guys, and the girls were like on our backs about everything. As 2-year-old and an infant or newborn, not geez, my mind. As children would be, and then as soon as we stop, they're like,
yeah, listen how quiet it is in here. I can hear my heartbeat.
Is that a good couch snack?
Even you're quiet.
I know.
You turkeys.
You finally getting around to eating that cereal, huh? Pretty delicious? Pretty yummy?
Is it good?
Can I have a piece?
No.
Oh, you're not going to share with Mom?
That's mine.
Oh, okay. You want to eat it all? You must be hungry. I don't expect you to share everything with me. That's fine.
Why do you expect me to then?
No.
Because you're my husband. That is what you signed up for when you asked me to be your wife.
What?
Is that I get a bite of everything you eat ever. That's
not
how it works.
fair.
That is how it works. Absolutely, that's how it works. She literally took all those, so I couldn't get one. Oh, my! So you have been feeling a lot better, but that was a bit of a coughing fit. Or did you just gag yourself with your fingers?
Maybe that's. Sure she gagged herself.
All right, I think it is about dinner time for everybody, right? You getting hungry? Yeah. Paige, I know, is getting hungry. She's trying to eat her hands. Micah's been snacking, but that's typical for her. I feel like, is that typical for most toddlers? They just kind of snack all the time? Or am I doing something wrong as far as schedule goes?
Probably
She's
both.
Still, yeah, probably both, to be honest.
I think toddlers will
I honestly think this whole last week really threw us off schedules, being sick and having a bunch of showtime and all of the above. I think it just really kind of threw us off. So we're slowly trying to get back to normal, whatever that is. You want to do a tea party? That's a great idea. Here, sit back up in your chair and we can do a tea party. Papa and Grandma got this for her for Christmas. Here we go. Nice tea party.
There's some more.
You need some more?
Look at that.
Oh, that's enough. Okay, good job.
With the spoon.
There's spoons.
There's spoon. Come on, play tea party with me.
I'll play tea party with you. May I have some tea, please? Oh, you're gonna repurpose that tea and give it to me?
That's right.
I'll be patient.
More. That's yours.
Oh, this one's mine? Thank
Yes.
you. Cheers, my darling.
How fun.
I don't need any more. I have enough. Cheers. Cheers, my darling. You gonna give me some? Thank you. Perfect. Yum, yum. Oh my goodness, I am about ready for bed. But Micah is wide awake. Paige thankfully went down super easy. Micah is having snacks and playing. And what else are you doing? What else are you doing? What else are you doing? I love you. Oh, don't do that. Don't show them your food, silly. We hope you guys enjoyed the vlog today. I know it was a little bit different. We don't really touch on that subject very often, but like Austin said, we felt like it might be something worth sharing with everybody. So, question answered, and then some.
Yeah, if there's any more questions, like maybe strategy-wise, I mean, I don't want to delve too deep because that's not our profession.
No.
Like I said, we
we'll have the
really
links.
believe in Dave Ramsey. We'll link everything down below.
Yeah. Bye, friends.